Big news on the education front this afternoon. Colorado got approval from the Obama administration to get out of the requirements of No Child Left Behind. That's the controversial law signed by President Bush to hold public schools to new standards. 9 News political reporter Brandon Redeman is joining us. And Brandon, politicians on both sides of the aisle agree No Child Left Behind was well-intended, but essentially missed the mark. Why is that?
Yeah, well, one of the main problems people had with this system is that it's sort of a pass-fail setup based on standardized tests. And that basically means that it's all about schools getting over this line with their standardized tests. So there's lots of incentive to get kids performing at a D level up to a C, but really no incentive to work on the kids that would get an A or a B to perform any better because they're already above the line, and not much reason to work on the kids that are getting an F because there's no reward for bringing them up to a D. Because of frustrations over the way No Child Left Behind measured progress, the state set up its own, more detailed set of measurements, and it made the information available to everyone online, an effort at transparency the Obama administration especially liked. Having its own set of rules was key to getting Colorado a waiver from the federal rules.
What we got out of were two kind of dual conflicted systems of accountability.
Colorado is one of 10 states the president announced would be let off the hook from No Child Left Behind.
Each of these states has set higher benchmarks for student achievement. They've come up with ways to evaluate and support teachers fairly, based on more than just a set of test scores.
To be clear, Colorado isn't getting out of standardized tests. It'll continue testing kids on more subjects than federal law requires. Still, it raises an issue of how involved the federal government should be in the state's public schools.
We shouldn't just be grateful that Washington is giving us a little bit of leeway. Let's empower our local schools.
Republican Representative Scott Tipton attacked the waivers, saying the federal government is keeping states and school districts on a leash.
A top-down approach out of Washington, D.C.
Democratic Senator Michael Bennet, a former Denver superintendent, agrees it's not a federal job to decide how to improve schools, just to set the standard.
What I do think is appropriate is for us to understand that we have a vital national interest and a vital economic interest in making sure all of our children are educated to high levels.
And Tipton does concede that the waivers do return some local control to overseeing schools.
You know, it's a step in the right direction, but there's a lot more to be done.
Now, Colorado already has its system that does reward schools for going from, say, a B to an A-level performance on standardized tests. And starting next school year, that's going to be the only standard that's used in Colorado. As for the other 40 states that didn't get waivers, they're free to apply, and it's expected that some of them will.
Interesting development. Brandon Redeman reporting from the Information Center. Thank you.